Okay, guys, so let's start with today's live stream. It's a very important day because we have got FOMC, as you know. But before that, let's look at the structure and see what's going on in gold right now. As you know, the structure still remains bearish in gold. No question about that. Market has been dropping since, you can say, the last couple of days, and the structure still remains bearish. And also now in the daily, market has become completely bearish because the last low has been broken. You can see this was the last low. Market created a new high which slipped this high, and after that market gave a bearish breakout structure, which makes gold bearish in the daily time frame as well. Okay, so the daily is now bearish and the structure still remains bearish. Market is still going down, no doubt about that. You can also see very strong imbalance while creating this breakout structure, which indicates strong presence of sellers. So what's the plan? The plan is we're still sellers in gold, but as you know, the higher time frame narrative is still bullish. Why? Because the structure in the monthly still remains bullish, and as long as market does not break below this last low, which was at 4080, you can say 4100, just to make it a psychological level, till that level is broken, the higher time frame narrative still remains bullish, and market should once again go for the last high and also potentially give us a new all-time high. Okay, so that's what we are looking for in gold, but that's the high time frame narrative. We do not want to talk about that right now. Now we just want to focus on the shorter time frame, on the current market structure, which still remains bearish, which still remains under pressure. So according to that, we can see that the daily remains bearish, market is going down, the sellers are in control. And in the 4-hour also, we can see that market has broken below a very important low, which was this last low. Market took out this low and also gave a closing below this 4-hour, indicating that the structure in 4-hour is also bearish. If we go to the 1-hour, then in the 1-hour also it's the same story. Market still remains bearish. We can see that market created this low, then this high, and after that a new low, giving us a new break-off structure to the downside, right? So the lower time frames below daily are looking bearish in gold, and market is still going down, creating strong imbalances, indicating that the sellers are still present in the market. And in this condition, the only option that is available to us is that we can look for selling opportunities only. Okay, so that's what we'll be looking for. We'll be looking to sell gold as long as the 1-hour structure does not turn bullish. Till then, our plan will be to only look for selling opportunities. So in the 1-hour, if I see here, then this was the last break-off structure. So this is the 4-hour break-off structure. If you want to mark it, you can mark this in the 4-hour. But our 1-hour break-off structure has happened over here. So I am going to mark it as a break-off structure in the 1-hour time frame. And along with this break-off structure, what have we got? We have got some untested POIs, as I can see over here. We have got this fair value gap and this order block, which makes this zone our supply area in the 1-hour time frame. So if you are a 1-hour trader, then you click for market to test this zone, and once market tests the zone, then you can look for a new selling opportunity from here, and will this last low, which is at $4,510. This is going to be your target in gold according to the 1-hour structure, and for that your selling POI is going to be this zone. Okay, now this is according to the 1-hour time frame. But as we know that when market is in a strong momentum, in that case market also likes to follow the 15-minute POIs as well. And in that case, as I can see that the 15-minute structure also remains bearish. We can see that market created this low, then this high, and after that market created this new low, right? So the 15-minute structure is also bearish, and you can see that I've already marked this 15 minutes order block which market has tested into. And now if we go to the 1-minute time frame, then is there anything that can tell us that yes, market wants to drop from here directly? So as I can see over here that market has actually created a bearish structure in the 1 minute already. You can see that market created this low before creating this high, and then market dropped all the way, giving us a breakdown of this last low, making the 1 minute time frame bearish. That means what? That means that the 1 minute has turned bearish and market has already tested the 15-minute zone over here, and now market can drop from here directly. Yes, definitely this is possible. So if you want to take an entry, in that case you can take an entry, but make sure that you keep the position very small, and in that case your entry is going to be from this untested 1 minute order block. This is going to be your entry, and according to the structure, like I told you, this is the 15 minutes POI. So in that case our target is going to be an initial 15-minute zone, which I can see we have got this pending fair value gap which is at $4,531. So this is going to be our initial target, 4,531. That means this low, and after that, if market continues lower, in that case you can target this low over here. Okay, so this is going to be your trade setup in gold according to the 15 minutes time frame structure. Okay, so this is the trade setup in gold according to the 15 minutes time frame structure. But if market does not respect this zone, if it trades through this zone, in that case you will focus on the 1 hour POI, which is going to be the zone over here, and from here you will be looking for a sell opportunity in gold. Okay, so hope that makes things clear. The structure is still bearish, and we'll be looking for selling opportunities only as long as the 1 hour structure does not turn bullish. So keep that in mind. Okay, now today's FOMC is going to be very important, because till now there have not been much changes that has happened in FOMC in the monetary policies. But as you know that the inflation is going up due to higher oil price, and in that case I'm pretty sure that the Feds are going to do something about it. And also, as you know, there is a new Fed chairman who is Welsh, and what he's going to do is going to be very important, and I think that they can actually take some drastic steps in the monetary policies for the upcoming weeks and upcoming months. So it's going to be very important, because inflation is a very, very important topic right now among the Feds, I'm pretty sure, and they are going to definitely take care of it. In that case, there are two options. Either the rates are going to still remain unchanged, which is going to be bearish for gold, because in that case the dollar index remains where it is, so it is going to create pressure in gold. So either market is going to go down, gold is going to go down further to the downside, or gold is just going to stay sideways. But there is also another option which is going to be more directly bearish for gold, in which case they can hike the interest rates, and if that happens, then that is going to create very strong demand in dollar index, which will be bearish for gold. So in both the cases it is going to be bearish for gold, and as long as there is no rate cut, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon, in that case gold will be under pressure. So keep that in mind. And that's what has been keeping gold under pressure since the last couple of days. There is a reason that market has been going down. It is not without any reason. The reason is very clean and clear, that the Feds are not looking for rate cuts in this year, and possibly until June of this year there will be no rate cut. And till the inflation comes under control, do not expect any kind of rate cut. So the rates are going to stay high, and also rate hike can be possible instead of rate cuts, which is going to be obviously bearish for gold. But we follow structures, we do not really involve much with the fundamentals, and in that case you have to remember that our higher time frame narrative still remains bullish in gold. Okay, so keep that in mind. As long as market does not break below this last low, the structure will remain bullish, and we'll be looking for buying opportunities. But for now, in the lower time frame, the narrative is against us, the sellers are in control, and in that case we will be looking for short-term intraday selling opportunities. Okay, so hope that makes things clear. And daily has also turned bearish, so definitely there will be some strong selling that can take place for the rest of this week, because as I can see over here with this break off structure, we have also got this new POI which should be tested in the upcoming days, and then market can follow further to the downside. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so that's the plan in gold. The high time frame narrative remains bullish, but right now the scenario is not really you can say in favor of us if we are looking for buying opportunities and the market is struggling to push higher. In that case, we will be going with the flow. We will be going for selling opportunities as well. So that's what we'll be looking for. So the 4 hour has given a very strong breakdown over here, indicating strong selling pressure, and in that case further downside is definitely possible in gold. In the 1 hour, as I have told you, we have got this POI which is still untested, so it's possible that market taps this zone before going down further. So definitely you can watch this zone. If market pushes higher, this will be the zone to watch, and from here we can look for further selling opportunities in gold, and our target according to the structure will be the last intraday low, which is at $4,510. Okay, now let's talk about the 15 minutes. Once again, we have got this 15-minute zone. You can see market has tested this zone. This is the 15 minutes order block, and when market is in a very strong momentum, which it is currently, in that case market actually respects this 15-minute zone as well, and market tends to displace from there. So that's why we are following this 15-minute zone, and I've already shown you in the 1 minute time frame that market has already given us a structure in the 1 minute time frame, a bearish breakdown you can see, and that's why we're looking to sell. And this is the selling zone which I told you was going to be a order block from here, and this is the entry. So if you want to take an entry, you can take an entry. Obviously it's not looking very good, but according to the structure, this should be the entry setup, and your stop loss is going to be very small, just above this high over here. So even if market takes it, not a big deal, because we know that if market pushes higher, market breaches this high, which is at $4,547. At least we got the next in the 1 hour time frame, which obviously market is going to show good reaction from, and this is the zone to watch, and from here we can see a new selling opportunity in gold. Okay, so that's what we are looking for. I hope it makes things clear. Structure still remains bearish, and this is the zone in the 15 minutes time frame. And why are we selling from here? Because the 1 minute has already given us a confirmation making the structure bearish, and that's the reason that we are selling from this area, which is the last 1 minute order block. But if market pushes higher, in that case we will focus on this 1 hour POI, where we have got this fair value gap and this order block, making this a very strong supply zone. So from here we can expect a strong downside movement in gold, which should continue this downside trend in gold, the downside structure in gold in the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so hope that makes things clear. The structure still remains bearish. The fundamentals are against us right now, and that's why we'll be following the structure which is bearish, and we'll be looking for selling opportunities only. But you have to remember the higher time frame narrative still remains bullish, and in that case we will be focusing on buying opportunities once market turns the 1 hour time frame bullish. But till that happens, the structure will be bullish, it will be bearish, and we'll be looking for selling opportunities only. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. Okay, so we can see that market is coming down. So if you have taken a sell, what you can do is wait for market to give at least 1:1. So once market gives that, you can move your stop loss aggressively to break even, to make the trade risk free, because as you know, market went very close, creating, you can say, relatively equal highs over here. So it's possible that this is a liquidity pool for the upcoming, you can say, upcoming 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So maybe in that time duration, market will push higher once again and take out this high. So in that case, you want to be on the safe side, and once market gives you 1:1, you can aggressively move your stop loss to break even, and after that just hold the trade, because you have taken your entry from the extreme POI, and now market has tested this, and if market wants to drop from here, then it should directly continue to the downside without retesting this POI once again. Okay, so let's see how this trade plays out. We can see that market has rejected this last POI in the 1 minute, which is this order block, and now market is trying to drop from here, but we do not know whether market will continue downside or not. In that case, move your stop loss to break even at 1:1. Okay, so hope that helps. The structure still remains bearish in gold, and we are looking for selling opportunities in gold. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, apart from that, let's look at silver as well. So just like in gold, silver is also showing actually bearish strength, But yesterday what market did was market came down all the way, took out this last daily low, and after that in the 1 hour market actually gave displacement. As you can see, there was a displacement candle along with fair value gap and order block. And today actually I wanted to buy from here, but there was no confirmation from this zone, as I can see in the lower time frame, and market traded this zone all the way to the downside and breaking this zone as well, giving us a new breakdown over here. So the 1 hour structure in silver still remains bearish, and as I can see over here we have got some POIs which are still untested, where we have got this order block, right? So just like in gold, silver is also playing out exactly, creating the exact POIs. So you can trade both of them right now in the same manner, because both of them are creating the same kind of POIs and creating the same kind of structure as well. So we have got this untested zone. So once market pushes higher, test this zone, shows rejection from the 5 minutes, you can actually take a sell entry from here. Stop loss according to the lower time frame structure, and your target will be the last low, which will be over here, which is at $71.3. So this is going to be your trade setup in silver according to the 1 hour time frame structure. The structure still remains bearish, the sellers are still under control, and this will be your selling zone in silver. Okay, so this is according to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, you can mark this zone in your chart and wait for confirmation from the zone. In the 4 hour, as I can see that market has created this low, then this high, and now market is trying to create another low over here. So I don't think that market has already given us a closing yet, because this candle did not close yet. So we still have 1 hour and 30 minutes left for this candle to close. If this candle closes below this low, then in 4 hours we'll have a new bearish break of structure, and in that case this will be the zone to watch, where we'll have this whole candle, or you can refine it to just this buying candle. So this will be the zone to watch, and from here we'll be looking for a new selling opportunity in silver and target this last low. Now this zone actually confluences with our 1 hour POI over here as well, where we have got this as the POI, where this is the fair value gap and the order block over here, right? And below that we have got another POI over here as well, which we have already discussed previously. But if market pushes a little bit higher, in that case we have got another extreme POI in the 1 hour, and from here also market can drop to the downside. So basically there is a very strong supply area over here. In the 1 hour there are two zones to watch. This will be the first area and this will be your second area, and both are strong zones for market to once again go to the downside. So you can look for selling opportunity from both of these POIs wherever you get your confirmation. Okay, so hope that makes things clear. Silver still remains bearish, and if this candle closes below this low, then definitely in the 4 hour market can indicate that it wants to go down further, and you can look for new selling opportunities once market gives a pullback into your POI, and from here you can look for a new selling opportunity. Okay, so hope that makes things clear, guys. The structure still remains bearish in silver as well, and in the 15 minutes as well, as I can see, just like in gold has tapped this 15 minutes POI. Similarly, you can see the kind of structure that both are creating. They're exactly identical to each other. Here also you can see that market has created this order block in the 15 minutes, which market has tested, and from here market is going down. So it's the same kind of POIs that market is creating, and market is respecting the same POIs in both gold and silver. So it's a great setup. If you want to trade both of them, then you can trade both of them in the exact same manner using confirmations. Okay, so both are moving in the same direction, and not just in the higher time frame but also in the shorter term. You can see the POIs and the structure, everything is exactly the same. Okay, so silver is also bearish and we'll be looking for selling opportunities only. I've already given the POIs over here in the 1 hour, so make sure you wait for a pullback to these POIs, and from here you'll be looking for new selling opportunities. Okay, and similarly in the 4 hour I've shared this POI as well. So we've got multiple POIs to watch in the 4 hour, in the 1 hour, and from there wherever you get strong confirmation, you can take your entry. Okay guys, so the structure remains bearish for gold and silver both, and in both of them you will be looking for selling opportunities only, as long as the 1 hour does not change its structure from bearish to bullish. What do I mean? Here we can see that the market structure is still bearish. Let's say market does something like this. Market goes up, tests our POI, and then market drops once again to the downside, giving us a new low. And then market pushes higher and breaks above the last high. That means what? That means that our 1 hour has now turned bullish. And in that case, not just bullish, not just a break off structure. What we want to see with this break off structure is displacement. We want to see fair value gaps getting created that will indicate the presence of smart money. So once we have that confirmation, then we can look to buy from these POIs, okay, and we can trade gold and silver to the upside. But that is not what's going on right now. Market structure is still bearish, but I'm just giving you a buying scenario, a bullish scenario where both of them change their structure from bearish to bullish, and then we'll be looking for new buying opportunities. But till that happens, the structure remains bearish and we'll be looking for selling opportunities only. Okay, let's look at gold. So gold is pushing higher. I hope that you have, I think it gave us 1:1, right? Yep, so exactly 1:1. So I told you that once it gives 1:1, make sure you move your stop loss to break even, and I hope that you close your trade in break even. Okay, that's why trade management is also very important. Once you take your entry, make sure you manage your trade accordingly. Okay, so as I've told you, if this 15 minutes POI is not respected, in that case we will focus on this 1 hour zone, and from here we'll be looking for a new selling opportunity all the way to our last intraday low, which is at $4,510. So this is the selling zone right now. We will wait for market to tap into this zone, and from here if we see confirmation, which will be a 1-minute market structure shift, something which happened over here as well. You can see market created this high, this low, and a new high, but after that market broke this last low along with displacement. So this is what we want to see over here as well. If we see that, then we can look for a new selling opportunity from this zone, and according to the structure we will look for a sell and we will target this last low. Okay, so let's see if market gives us that entry or not. If it gives us any confirmation, then definitely I'll be sharing this setup with you, and we'll be looking for a selling opportunity in gold. Okay guys, so let's see if gold gives us the confirmation, then we'll take the entry. Okay, so apart from that, if we talk about the currency pairs, then they're actually showing weakness, as I can see over here. Market is kind of sideways, it is not doing much. Because as you know, we have got FOMCs coming in, and till now market is not going to move as long as market does not get any kind of strong, you can say, ignition from the speech of the like German or something like that, somebody like that who is up in the Feds. So till they give something, some kind of speech which is bullish or bearish for dollar index, market is not going to move. So market is just going to be sideways, dollar is going to remain sideways, and pairs like GBP, Euro, all of them are just going to remain sideways as well. So that's what we can see over here, that market has been struggling to go in any direction. But yes, as long as market holds the zone over here, we can say that market has the potential to push higher. But for that, we want to see dollar getting weaker. But as long as dollar does not get weaker, and that is not going to happen as long as there is some negative indication that there will be rate cuts in the upcoming days, which is not the scenario. So in that case, dollar is going to remain where it is, or it is actually going to gain some more strength as well. So let's look at dollar. I haven't really looked at dollar yet. So let's see what's going on in dollar. Okay, so in the monthly, we have this major, you can say, trend line, which market has tested multiple times, and market is still holding this zone. If we go to the weekly, then in the weekly, we can see that the structure is actually bullish, Why? Because market has created this low, then this high, and then a new low, and then market went all the way up, and market has also given a closing above this last high over here. But only thing is that there was no displacement over here, right? But we can say that there was some displacement over here. Market comes down, tests this zone, and from here market is showing reaction. So now we have to wait for FOMC and see what kind of speech the new chairman gives, and accordingly dollar is going to show where it wants to go next, whether it wants to continue the downside momentum that it has been showing since 2025, whether it is going to continue in 2026 as well, which is possible because still now we can see that market is actually showing weakness, right? Even though market has given us a structure shift in the weekly, we can see that there was no displacement along with it over here, which we should have seen. That would have been much more bullish for dollar index. But yes, there was some displacement over here, and market has come and tapped into this zone. Now if market is able to actually push higher and target this last high, then that is going to give a very strong, you can say, push in dollar index, and that is going to be highly negative, highly bearish for pairs like gold, silver, and currency pairs like GBP, euro, and I think crypto as well. So we have to see what happens in dollar index. That is going to completely depend upon what the Fed does today and also in the upcoming labor market, which is going to take place next week. So it's going to be very important this week and also next week. It's highly eventful. But one thing you have to understand, that even if the NFP misses, even if the labor market gets terrible, the Feds are always going to prefer the inflation over the employment market, because they know that with time the employment market is going to rebalance itself, but inflation is something that the Feds have to control themselves. So that's why it's very important to understand that right now dollar can either stay sideways like this, where it is, this sideways momentum, this range, not momentum, this sideways range can continue for the upcoming months as well if there is no rate change. But if rate hike is done, then definitely dollar is going to push higher and it is going to target this high, which is going to be massively bearish for gold, silver, and the currency pairs as well. Okay, so now everything depends upon fundamentals, everything depends upon the rate, the rate decisions, and what is the view of the new chairman and what is going to do in the upcoming monetary policies. Anyhow, so as long as we are technical traders, so as long as the market structure remains bearish, we will be looking for selling opportunities only. Okay. So according to that, if dollar gains strength or if it just remains sideways, then that means that this is going to impact pairs like GBP USD, Euro USD, and you can see bearish move in both of them, and market can go to the downside. And not just both of them, all the pairs that that is correlated to USD, and like AUD USD, NZD USD. So all of these pairs will be moving to the downside. But pairs like USD CAD, USD CHF, USD JPY, these pairs are going to gain strength. Why? Because dollar is going to gain strength. So it's a very simple thing, guys. And this can help you to understand the next move in all of them, because technically we cannot find out the move in them because the market is sideways. But if we understand the fundamentals, then we can understand that what can be their move for these currency pairs in the upcoming weeks and upcoming months. Okay, now let's go back to gold and see what's going on. Okay, so seems like gold is actually tapped into our POI and is already showing some reaction. Let's go to the 1 minute and see what's going on. So in the 1 minute, like I told you, we need to see a bearish break-off structure as our confirmation. So as I can see, this is the last low. If this low gets broken, then we can look for a selling opportunity in gold. And as I've told you, our target is going to be this last low over here, because we are entering from a 1 hour POI. Our target is going to be a 1 hour liquidity. That means a 1 hour swing low, which is going to be this low over here. So this is going to be our trade setup. This is the move. This is the pathway which market should follow. So let's see what market does. This is the zone to watch. Market has tested. Now we want to see confirmation, and only then we will make our entry. Till now, as I can see, that market has also created some 1 minute POIs over here, and market has actually tested this and reacted. So market is still respecting the 1 minute POIs. So 1 minute still remains bullish. But as long as market remains bullish in 1 minute, there is no entry. We want the market to turn, to shift from bullish to bearish in the 1 minute time frame, and only then we will make our entry. So this is our new low, and now we want market to drop and break below this last low, and then we can look for a sell entry in gold. Okay, so this is the zone. I can see that market is actually pushing higher and it wants to tap this order block. So it's fine. Once market taps this order block, we will look for a selling opportunity and we will sell gold. Okay, so let's see if market gives us any confirmation. And as I've told you, that this will be the low to watch once market drops, breaks below this last low, something like this. Remember, the breaking is not important. What's important is that along with the breaking, we also want to see displacement being created. If there is no displacement, that means if there is no fair value gap, then we are not interested to make any entry. Okay, so that's very, very, very important. This is what you can say distinguishes between a high probable setup and a low probable setup. Okay guys, so let's see what market does. The 1 hour order block has not been tapped yet. Okay, so as I can see over here, 1 minute is still bullish. We can see that market has created a new breakout structure over here. So let's see what market does. Market has also created a new POI over here. We see new fair value gap. So most probably market will tap this and once again push higher, right? Give a new breakout structure above this last high in the 1 minute, tap into our 1 hour order block, which is this zone, and that market is going to become bearish in the 1 minute, and only then we can look for a new sell entry. Okay, so hope that makes things clear. This is what we are looking for. The structure still remains bearish and we'll be looking for a selling opportunity in gold. But for that, we need to see confirmation, and only then we'll be entering a trade in gold. Okay, so let's see. I think we should get a 1 minute confirmation very soon, because we can see that market is becoming slower and slower. Initially, the push was very strong. After that, there was a strong pullback as well. But here also we can see that the push was very strong, and then there was a small pullback, and then another push, and then another pullback, and then another push. So the pushes to the upside are getting smaller and smaller, indicating the weakness of the buyers, and very soon the sellers can take over and break the low, creating a bearish market structure shift in the 1 minute, and then we can look for a new selling opportunity. Okay, so hope that makes sense, guys. Also, to like the stream if it's helpful, and for more updates, if you want more intraday updates, join my Telegram channel, which is completely free. The link is in the description below. And also, if you want exact setups with proper entry, stop loss, targets, in that case you can register with one of the brokers which is mentioned in my description. All of them are world-class brokers. And also, if you have any issues with deposit withdrawal, I can help you out with that personally. And yeah, you can also have access to my VIP group where I share all my setups. Okay, so let's see what market does here. Market is showing some weakness, as I can see, but we still have got this order block. So it's possible that market pushes higher from here, because remember, the 1 hour order block hasn't been tapped into yet. So you want to see this zone gets tapped, and only then we'll be looking for a sell entry. But for that, the 1 hour structure needs to become bearish, which hasn't happened yet. So once that happens, only then we'll look for a selling entry. Okay guys, so let's see what market does. I think we should see a very strong selling opportunity from this area, because this is a 1 hour zone and this is an order block which we are talking about. So this is a very, very strong supply zone, and from here we should actually see good momentum come in, and the sellers should once again take over the market and push gold to the downside. Let's look at silver, what's going on, because if gold drops, then silver is also going to follow that as well. So silver hasn't really moved much, as I can see. If we compare it to gold, then gold has given very strong displacement in the 1 hour. If you look at the last two candles, then both of them were very significant candles with huge bodies we can see. But if you look at silver, then silver hasn't really done much till now. Market is just sideways over here, which is also fine, which indicates that the selling pressure in silver is more compared to gold, or you can say that silver is much more volatile than gold, or you can say that silver is in a very strong momentum. It has got much more momentum than gold. So anyway, it's possible that silver can directly drop from here. Why? Because silver is already tapped into this 15 minutes POI and it has already shown very strong rejection. So it's possible that silver can directly drop from here. But for that, gold also needs to show weakness and gold also needs to drop. So this was the 15-minute zone, which I'm going to remove, and we are going to focus on the 1 hour order block. Okay. So we can see that market has actually respected this order block as I have talked about, and now we'll wait for market to give us a new breakout structure. And once that happens, then we'll be focusing on this as our new low. And from here, once market gives us a breakout structure, taps into our 1 hour order block over here on the left side, drops and breaks this last low along with displacement, this will be our confirmation of a sell entry, and we'll be looking to sell gold. Okay, so hope that makes things clear. Let's see if market actually gives us a very strong confirmation or not. I think market should actually give us something very, very soon. So this is our zone from which we are looking for a sell opportunity. Okay, so the 5 minutes is also still bullish. Market is still pushing higher along with very strong displacement. So let's see what market does over here. If we go to the 15 minutes, then okay, so this was the order block which market has tested, and yeah, there is, apart from that, there is nothing over here in the 15 minutes. The only zone that I can see is going to be over here, which is obviously far away from where market is right now. So we are not going to focus on that. We'll just focus on the order block in the 1 hour time frame, which is closer to where market is right now, and we'll be looking for a selling opportunity from there. Seems like market is trying to drop directly. Okay, that's also fine because market has already tapped this fair value gap over here, right? So there are two POIs. Market has already tapped into this fair value gap. So it's possible that market can directly drop from here as well. So let's see if we see bearish breakoff structure. If we see candle closing below this low, then we can actually directly go for a selling entry from here as well. But till now, nothing happened. Market came down, took out this low and gave us a closing above. So there is no confirmation yet. So we have to wait for our strong confirmation. Okay, so let's see what market does. If it drops once again, closes below this low, then definitely we will have a bearish breakoff structure, which might happen because market has already tapped into a 1 hour fair value gap. So directly market can drop from here. So there should not be any problem with that. If that happens, then we'll look for a sell from here itself. But if market is not able to close below this low, then we have to expect that market can push higher, test the order block, and then market can drop. Okay, so let's see what happens. If market drops like this directly, if it closes like this directly, then it can directly go down from here. Okay, so be ready. We'll be looking for a selling opportunity if market directly drops like this. Okay, so we have got a very strong candle closing and market has now become bearish. In the 1 minute, we can see this was a low, then this high, and now market has broken this low over here. So we can actually look for a selling opportunity from this zone because we have got fair value gap over here. And this is the last fair value gap before market broke the structure to the downside. So this is going to be your selling zone. Stop loss will go above this high. And like I told you, our target is going to be this low over here. Okay, so this is going to be your trade setup in gold. But remember, this is, even though it's a hyperable setup, but we still have got a pending POI just above this fair value gap, which is this order block. So it's definitely possible that a tap into this order block can happen during FOMC, okay, during the Fed funds rate whenever they will be released. So there is 2 hours left for that to get released. So when that gets released, there can be a weak test this zone, and then market can once again go down from here. So keep that in mind. This is very much possible that market has intentionally did not tap into this order block. It has kept little bit of gap so that after FOMC gets released, market can tap into this zone, and then market can go down from here. Okay, so this is something that you have to keep in mind. But yes, right now market has given us a confirmation. The 1 minute has turned bearish. As we can see, this was the last high, then this low, and then a new high, and then market breaks to the downside along with displacement. So this is going to be your opportunity in gold. If you want to take an entry, then you can take an entry from here. Stop loss will go over here above the high, and according to the structure, this will be your target. Okay, let's look at the 5 minutes as well, because there was some PY over here. Yes, so market has tested this 5 minute zone, just fine. Market creates a new 5 minutes PY over here, which is going to be this order block, and from here market should then go down. Okay, so this is what we have to look at. We have to be careful for all the POIs, all the time frames, and accordingly we have to see what we should do. We have to decide. Okay guys, so this is the zone that we have to watch for. This will be our entry. Stop loss will be above the high, and this will be our entry. And once it goes down from here, immediately move your stop loss to break even, because as I told you, once the FOMC data comes, there is a high possibility that this high gets taken. Market taps into our order block in the 1 hour as I've shown you, and then market goes to the downside. Okay, so this is a very high possibility because market did not tap into the order block intentionally. Okay, so keep that in mind. Anyhow, so this will be your trade setup. Entry will be from here. Okay guys, stop loss above the high, and according to the structure, this is going to be your target, which is the last low in the 1 hour time frame. Okay, at $4,510. This is going to be your trade setup in gold. And if you want to take this setup, you can take this setup. But once again, once market gives you entry, drops to the downside, gives 1:1, move your stop loss to break even, because high chance market will take out this high during FOMC, and then market will go to the downside. Okay, this is what I see, because this is what market likes to do whenever market has to offer a high you can say high impact news. Market will leave this you can say liquidities willingly, which market will take later on once the news gets released, and then market will displace in its direction. Okay, so this is something which is very common. If you trade gold, you should know by now. This is how gold likes to behave, and yeah, this is what I'm expecting in gold. Okay, so this is going to be your trade entry in gold, guys. If you want to take an entry, then you can put a sell limit from here, stop loss above high, and this will be your target. Okay, so I hope that you have put a sell limit if you want to take an entry. This is a nice selling opportunity. Why? Because market has tested 1 hour fair value gap, and market has given a 1 hour displacement to the downside, along with 1 hour structure to the downside along with displacement. So that's where we are looking to take an entry from, and according to the structure, we are looking for a sell opportunity in gold. Okay, so that will be our entry in gold. Apart from that, if we talk about silver, then silver, like I told you, if gold goes down from the 1 hour POI, then silver is also going to go down directly. It is not going to push higher and test this 1 hour POIs that I have talked about before, because they will react at the same time. You can say when market will move higher in gold, silver is also going to go and follow that. When gold is going to drop, silver is going to follow that. So it does not matter if silver has tested the 1 hour order block or not. It does not really matter. What matters is that their timing will be the most important thing. Whenever one moves, the other is going to follow as well. Okay, so let's look at 5 minutes. The 5 minutes has also given us a very strong drop over here. Like I told you, the 5 minutes needs to create a new POI, which it has created. 5 minutes have created this massive fair value gap along with order block. So it's highly probable that market will tap into this order block before it goes down. Okay, so this is going to be your trade setup in gold. And yeah, seems like market is pushing higher to give us our entry. So once market gives our entry, we will take our entry. I've already put a sell limit. So let's see how this trade plays out. Okay, so very close to our entry, guys. Let's see. Okay, so our entry is done. Now let's see how this trade plays out. Market has already given us our entry. Market has tapped into our 1 hour POI, 1 minute POI over here, where we have got this fair value gap plus this order block. And from here, it should now push to the downside if market wants to drop, because the structure remains bearish as I've told you. So from here, market should go down. So let's see how this trade plays out. But once again, like I told you, if market is higher, in that case, we have got a 1 hour order block, which is still pending. We are going to look for an entry from that 1 hour order block. Okay, so let's see how this trade plays out. The entry is done. Let's see how it plays out. Stop loss will go above the high like I told you, and target will be over here. Okay. Till now, 1 minute is actually showing good strength over here. Like I told you that there will be reaction. Why? Because this is a 5 minutes POI from which market has reacted, and now market has tested this 5 minutes order block, and from here it should show reaction and it should start to drop. So let's see if that happens. And if that happens, then definitely market is going to go down from here. So let's see, guys, what happens from here, if market is able to go down or not. This is also a 5 minutes rejection block, by the way. Okay, so seems like market has taken us out. Okay, that's completely fine. And now market has tapped into our order block. Okay, so now we will look for a new entry from this zone, because market has taken us out, and now market has tapped into this order block, and from here we will look for a new selling opportunity. Okay, so we'll remove this and we'll wait for a new confirmation. Market has tapped into our order block, and from here we'll be looking for a new trade entry. Once again, we'll use the same kind of confirmation. We'll wait for market to give us a bearish breakdown in the 1 minute, and then we'll be looking for a new selling opportunity. Okay, so this was a nice setup, the one which we took, because there was confirmation in the 1 minute time frame. Market gave us 1 minute bearish breakoff structure, and that's why we took an entry from here. But unfortunately, market pushed higher, did not respect this zone, which is fine, because I told you that market has created another POI just above this fair value gap, which is the order block, and from here also market can go down. So maybe that's what market wants, and market has now tested this zone. So now if we see confirmation from here, then we can take an entry from this zone as well. Okay, so let's say if market gives us any confirmation, then I will share this entry with you. and we can take a sell entry from here. So let's wait for that. Okay, so the stop loss was hit on this entry. Now we'll look for a new entry from this zone. Let's see if we get confirmation. Silver is also pushing higher, so let's see. Okay, so there is no untested POI in the 15 minutes. In 1 hour, we see that market has still left for this zone to tap into. So this is still an untested zone, but we have to see whether silver is able to push so much up, because in that case, gold also has to push a lot higher. And yeah, we have to see whether silver is able to push that much or not. So let's see what silver does. But for now, we'll just wait. We will wait for a new confirmation from this zone, and we will see if market gives us any confirmation, and only then we will take our entry. So let's see if market gives us a confirmation or not. Here we can see that there is no 1 hour low which has been created. The 1 minute low, the last 1 minute low was over here, which is very far away. So in that case, we'll wait for a new 1 minute low. If market creates something like that, then definitely that will be nice, and then we can use that low as our confirmation, something like this. And then again a bearish breakdown like this, and then on pullback to a POI, we can look for a selling opportunity. So let's see if market gives us something like that. And this is the 1 hour order block, by the way. So this is a very strong supply zone, and from here market should directly now drop to the downside. So this is what we want to see. Okay, so let's say if market creates any new low in the 1 minute, then we can use that as our new low, and we'll wait for a manipulation of the last high and then a breakdown, and then we can look for a sell. Our analysis remains the same. We're still looking for a selling opportunity, and possibly market is going to drop from here, because this is the last 1 hour, not the last, but this is the 1 hour POI along with this break-off structure, which makes this zone a very important zone. So the sellers should come from this zone and push gold to the downside. So let's see what happens. But if market is not able to push down from here, in that case, we'll have to focus on the next 1 hour POI, which is going to be this zone, which is the last extreme POI, which is still untested, and from here we'll be looking for a selling opportunity. But in that case, market will show very strong displacement in the 1 hour, which we do not really want to see. In that case, this will indicate that the buyers are coming in control and that the sellers are losing their control from the market, and in that case something more bullish can also take place. Like I told you, our high time frame narrative still remains bullish, and something bullish can take place. But as long as market does not break above this order block, we can expect that market can go down from here, and we'll be looking for selling opportunity from this zone itself. Okay, so let's wait for confirmation. Till now there is nothing much. Let's look at some currency pairs as well. Okay, so they're kind of sideways, so nothing much to trade over here. Let's look at crypto. So what I can see over here is that Bitcoin has actually tapped into this monthly order block, monthly fair value gap, and market is actually showing rejection from this zone. So now we can see in the daily, market is showing rejection, but till now there is no displacement over here. So if market is able to create displacement in the daily, that means market is actually going to show a very strong reaction to the downside, and we can see a strong downfall in Bitcoin in the upcoming days. Also, this last low is going to be very important. So if market is able to break below this low, then also the daily will become bearish, because according to the structure, this was the high, then this last low, and then market went up and tapped into this monthly order block. So now if market breaks below this low, then this will make the daily bearish once again, and we can expect that Bitcoin is going to drop once again to the downside. But till that happens, till market is not able to create any kind of POI in the daily time frame, it's also possible that market can once again continue this upside momentum that it had created, and market can push higher as well. So right now there is no trade setup in Bitcoin, but yes, Bitcoin has tapped into a monthly POI over here, and from here we can also see that weekly has given reaction, and this is going to be very important to see how this week closes. And specifically in the daily, if we see displacement to the downside, then we can look for new selling opportunity. But for now, there is no selling entry in Bitcoin. Similarly, in Ethereum also, we can see that market has shown good reaction from this last monthly order block. We can see there was a strong displacement, and in Ethereum, we can see that market has tapped into this fair value cap, and this is where market is showing reaction from. And just like in Bitcoin, Ethereum also hasn't given any strong displacement in the daily time frame yet, but if it gives, then in that case market can once again drop to the downside. Okay, so right now there is no trade setup, but yes, it totally depends upon whether daily shows displacement or not. If it does, then you can look for selling opportunity, but if daily does not give any displacement to the downside, then you can look for buying opportunities in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, let's go back to gold and see what's going on. Okay, let's go to 1 minute. Okay, so we can see that the 1 minute still remains bullish. Market has created this fair value gap, which market has tested, and market has pushed higher, but it failed to create a new high. But we are not going to sell yet. We will wait for a strong confirmation in the 1 minute. We want to see a new high, a manipulation of the last high, and a drop of the last low, breaking the structure to the downside, and then on pullback we will look for a selling opportunity. Okay, so this is going to be one way to take a confirmation in the 1 minute, but we can also use the 5 minute as a confirmation. So in the 5 minute, if we see displacement like this, then that can also be used as a strong not strong, but yes, that can be used as one of the confirmations. If there is no structure shift in the 1 minute, then that can be used as a confirmation in the 5 minutes. Okay, but yes, once again, this is not a strong confirmation. You have to keep in mind, because the 5 minutes has shown very strong displacement over here, creating imbalance. And in that case, if market taps the zone and once again pushes higher, that means the 5 minute structure is still bullish, and in that case we cannot look for sell aggressively. We have to wait for a strong confirmation. Okay, so let's see what market does. For now, there is no entry in gold. We'll just have to wait for a strong confirmation, and only then we will look for a new entry in gold. Okay guys, so let's wait for that. But this is the zone, and from here market should go down. Like I told you, this is the order block, and this has been tapped into. And now if market shows, it is already showing reaction, but we want to see strong confirmation. Once we see that, we can go for a sell entry in gold. So silver is sideways. As you can see, there is not much which has happened, but if silver pushes higher, then this will be the zone to watch, and from here we can look for a new selling opportunity in silver. And here I can see that this 4-hour candle is kind of creating a CRT candle over here, but I'm not too concerned about that. There is no displacement as well, so yeah, nothing much to be concerned about. So this is very much fine. The structure still remains bearish, and we can still look for selling opportunity. But for that, like I told you, we need to see confirmation, and only then we will look for an entry. Okay, but if market pushes higher, in that case we will have to focus on the daily POI, because we have got this daily zone now, right? And we'll be focusing on this zone, and once market tests this zone, then we can look for a new selling opportunity, and we can target this last daily low over here. And after that, if market continues down, then in that case we can expect that gold is going to continue the drop all the way to this next swing low, which is over here. Okay, so what's the actually higher time frame plan in gold? So what I can see in the monthly time frame is that market has, if you look at this closely, then market has taken out the previous candle's low, right? And now this level, this becomes a QM level, right? So that means that previously, if you go to the lower time frame, you will see that this level has acted as a support, right? And what happened is market came down in this candle, market came down, market manipulated this low, the sellers came in, then the buyers came in, and that's why market created this wick and the downside, right? And now it's once again coming down to test this zone, to establish it as a support once again, and then market will push higher. So that's what I am looking at based on the current structure in the monthly time frame. But yes, I'm also aware that in the weekly time frame, this has already been done. This is the level that we are talking about, and we can see, I mean, this is the zone. If we talk about the whole zone, the market has already broken it once, broken it twice, tested the zone, and it pushed higher. But like I told you, this exact zone has not been tapped into. So I think that's what market is trying to do. Market wants to drop, market wants to test the zone and establish this zone as a support once again, because what I told you, that this zone, this level acted as a support previously. So this is what market wants to do. Market wants to drop, test this zone, and from here it wants to go up. This is my view in gold in the higher time frame. In the monthly time frame, this is what I am expecting, but for that we need confirmation. We need to wait for market to take out this low, I mean test this low, and then establish it as a support, and then we can look for a swing opportunity if market is able to hold this level. So this level at $4,407, if you want to refine it, if you want to make it a psychological level, you can take it to $4,400. This is the zone which the bulls needs to defend so that gold does not go down to give us a multi-month correction. This is very, very, very important for bulls to hold, because if this low is broken, if this level is broken, then gold is going to go down all the way to this low, because in between these two levels there is no other zone that can reverse gold to the upside. So this zone is the last zone. This is the last level for the for bulls to hold, and market needs to hold this zone at 4,400 to keep the direct narrative of bullish in monthly alive. But if market is not able to hold this zone, then this is going to be not completely bearish, obviously, but yes, market is going to drop in the upcoming months as well, and market is going to retest this low at $4,093 and potentially drop further to the downside all the way to this zone over here. Okay, so this can be a huge selling, you can say, multi-month correction that can take place in gold. And obviously if gold goes down all the way to this zone, that means silver is also going to give us a huge correction, potentially taking us to the lows of $50 and possibly much lower than that as well. So this is very much possible, because in the history, if you look at the history of silver, then silver has given us this kind of massive correction. We can see over here, right? So 70%, 75% correction in silver is not a big deal. So till now it has already given us a very strong correction, but like I told you, if we look at the history, then definitely a deeper correction is possible in silver as well. Okay, so both silver and gold, they need to show something. They need to show that they are interested to go up. They need to show that they are willing to rise, and for that the bulls needs to show up, specifically in gold from this level, which is at $4,400. Market needs to hold this level. If market breaks this low, then market is going for $4,093, $4,100, and below that, like I told you, market will go all the way down to this zone around $3,500. So this will be a huge bear market in gold. I mean, obviously not a huge bear market, because even if market goes down to $3,500, it is going to be around, you can say, 38-40% correction, which is obviously a huge thing. But the important thing is that this correction is going to take a lot of time. Okay, because you can see that this correction itself, so this was the high, and from here you can see that it has already been almost 3 months, and market has just given us this bit of correction. So now if market wants to give us a deeper correction, then you can understand that how long this correction is going to happen. And this is definitely a reality which can take place in gold if the rates go up in the upcoming days. Then this is what we'll be looking at. The dollar is going to get strength, the bonds are going to get strength, they're going to rise, and gold, silver, they are going to just collapse all the way down towards these lows. So we can see a huge bear market in gold and silver for the next couple of months. Okay, so it's possible that the whole of 2026 just goes in this correction all the way to the downside. Okay guys, so I hope that makes things clear, and this is very much a possibility looking at the current inflation. So if the inflation numbers doesn't go down rapidly, in that case you can expect a rate hike will be taking place very soon, and that is going to be bearish for gold and silver. Okay, but till that happens, we can be optimistic, we can believe that market can push higher, but for that we need to hold this low at $4,400. This is very important. Okay, now let's come back to our zone, which is the 1 hour POI, and let's see what's going on. So in the 1 minute, market is showing weakness, but nothing much to do over here. There is no strong confirmation yet, so we have to wait for that. If you look at the 5 minutes, then there is nothing yet. We have got the zone over here, which was the last breakout level. Market is testing this, and it's possible that market can once again push higher from here. So we want to see a strong confirmation, and only then we will look for a selling entry in gold. So let's wait for that. Let's see if market gives us any confirmation or not. If it gives confirmation, only then we will look for a selling opportunity. Okay, so hope that makes sense, guys. What we're looking at in the shorter term, the market structure remains bearish, and possibly this can turn into a longer term correction as well if we see rate hikes in the upcoming weeks, in the upcoming months. And also today is going to be very important. So the speech will be very important in deciding what are the Feds looking at for the upcoming monetary policies. So make sure you do not miss that. You focus on the narrative that they're underlying. If it's bullish, then it's going to be bullish for dollar index, bearish for gold. But if it's bearish, then it's going to be bearish for dollar, and yeah, successively bullish for gold. But for now, looking at what's going on, the inflation numbers, they're definitely not indicating that we will see a rate cut any soon. In that case, the rates are going to stay where they are, or we might see a hike, which is going to be bearish for gold. Okay, so silver is still sideways, nothing much has happened. Let's look at indices as well. Okay, we see a very strong breakout in Nasdaq over here, and it's possible that market tests the zone. I think it is still untested. If we go to the daily, then this is a zone that I was watching, but this zone is still untested, so it's possible that market comes down, tests the zone, and then it continues the push to the upside. It's definitely possible. So if you are a breakout trader, you can focus on the zone, and from here you can look for a new buying opportunity in the upcoming weeks. Okay, but for now, short-term trader, we can see that the daily has created a new breakout and an order block which market tested right now, and we can see that in the 1 hour market has actually created POI over here. So this zone is still untested. This is the last POI in the 1 hour, and it's possible that market drops all the way down because, as I can see, market has created a liquidity over here. So it's possible that during the news today, market comes down, wicks it, and then market pushes higher. So it's very much possible. In that case, we can look for a buying opportunity from here. If you are interested to trade Nasdaq, then this can be a nice buying opportunity. Why? Because the structure in daily is bullish. Market came down, tapped into the order block in the 1 hour, market has displaced, and also if you look closely, then market has created a structure shift as well. We can see that market has broken the structure in 1 hour to the upside, and we can see that along with that, market has given us displacement. Market created fair value gap and also order block, which it has tested already, and market has pushed higher. But we can see that we have got a pending POI over here, and just above this we have got a liquidity, and that's what makes this POI a high probable POI. So it's possible that market drops, taps here, and then market pushes higher from here. So if you want to trade Nasdaq, then definitely you can watch this zone, and from here you can look for a buying opportunity. Okay, let's go back to gold. So till now there is nothing. In 5 minutes we can see that market is respecting this last breakout level, and it is trying to push higher. So what we can do is we can actually focus on the 5 minutes time frame this time, and if market gives us a new high and then market drops, break the structure to the downside along with displacement, then we can look for a selling opportunity from here. Stop loss will go above the high, and according to the structure our target will be this low. So this can be a nice setup in gold if we get the 5-minute bearish breakout structure, but till now there is no confirmation for that, so we have to wait for that. But before that we need to see a manipulation of the last high, and that only we want to see a bearish breakdown, and we can look for an entry. But right now there is nothing like that, so we'll have to wait for that. If market gives the confirmation, only then we will look for an entry. Okay guys, so hope that makes things clear. We're looking for a selling opportunity from the 1 hour order block, and from here market should go down according to the structure, because market is bearish. In the 1 hour we have got a bearish breakout structure, and this is the nearest POI, which is the order block, and from here market should go the downside and continue this bearish trend that it has created over here. Market should go down from here. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. If market gives confirmation, then definitely you can look for a selling opportunity. Okay, so let's see if market is able to manipulate the high and then break to the downside. Then we'll focus on this low, and once market breaks this low, we can look for a selling entry. But make sure if you take an entry, if market gives confirmation, then once market takes this low, gives you entry, and then drops, you can see that in the 5 minutes we have got an order block, so market will show reaction from here obviously. So once you take an entry, what you can do is you can aggressively move your stop loss to break even, and then hold trade all the way to your target over here. Okay, because as you know the news is coming, and just before the news market can show some manipulation, it can do some weird stuffs. So we do not want to get caught in all of these things, right? We want to take an entry, but we also want to be on the safer side. We want to preserve our capital as much as possible. Anyhow, so this will be your trade setup in gold. Let's wait for the manipulation and to drop and break below this low, and then we can look for a selling entry in gold. Okay, if the analysis is helpful, make sure to like the stream, and also if you want more updates, make sure to join my Telegram channel, which is completely free. You can find the link in the description. And also if you want exact entries with stop loss, targets, and proper exact setups, in that case you can register with the brokers. You can use Vantage, it's a world-class broker. And definitely if you have any issues with deposit or withdrawal, then you can let me know and I can help you with that. And also obviously we're going to get access to all my trades that I take and I also share in my VIP area. But make sure that if you take those trades, that you also use your methodology, your analysis before taking my entries. Do not just take my entries blindly, even though these are high probable entries, but sometimes some entries might hit stop loss, and in that case you want to be very careful with your entries and you want to take your own risks carefully. Anyhow, so let's see what market does. We want to see a manipulation of the high like I told you, and then a breakdown, and then we can look for a selling opportunity. So let's see what market does. Let's look at silver as well. So as I can see, silver has, let's go to 15 minutes first. So 15 minutes there is nothing, but in 5 minutes silver has actually created an order block, and silver has tested this, and market is kind of sideways right now. So there is no opportunity in silver, no hyperable entry in silver. Yeah, so we'll just wait for either silver to push higher, tap into this zone, and from here we can look for a selling opportunity. We can look for a sell opportunity from this zone. But if silver directly drops, then we can look for a new opportunity. Once market gives a new breakdown below this last low, then we can look for a new selling opportunity. So let's see what happens. Looks like gold is trying to drop from here directly. So we'll wait for that because there is no bearish breakout structure yet. So we will see what happens. We're not going to take any entry directly. We will wait for a strong confirmation and only then take our entry. Okay, so let's see what happens if market gives us any confirmation or not. Okay, in the 4-hour, we have got a new breakdown over here, but there is no POI in the 4 hours. That's something that you should take note of. If we go to this broker, then here also, okay, so here actually there is a POI, but I do not really use this broker. But over here there is no POI, so that's fine. But in other broker there is a POI, which gives them some confidence that in the 4 hour there is a supply area over here, which actually confluences with our 1 hour POI if market pushes higher. Like I told you initially, we have got this untested zone, which actually confluences with this 4 hour zone over here. Okay. Anyhow, so this is just for interest. Make sure you tally with 2-3 different brokers so that you you have good confidence that you are actually seeing the same thing on different brokers. Okay, so let's see what happens. This is our initial zone, and this is where we are looking for a selling opportunity. If market gives us a confirmation, till now there is nothing. Let's see what happens. And if market does not create a new high and market directly drops, in that case, if market actually gives us some kind of POI over here, then we can also take an entry directly from here. But yes, this is going to be a low probable entry. Okay, but yes, this is also a valid entry, but this is a low probable entry. So if we take this kind of entry, then we have to lower your risk. So make sure you keep that in your mind. But for that, we need to see 3 candle swing over here. We need to see displacement getting created, and only then we will look for a selling opportunity using this entry model. But once again, this is a low probable entry, so if you take your entry using this model, then make sure that you lower your risk. Okay, so let's see if market gives us any confirmation using this entry model, because over here market did not take out this high, so there is no bearish breakout structure, so we cannot use the bearish breakout structure model. So in that case, we'll have to use the displacement model, and then we can look for an entry from here directly. Okay, so silver is also going down, so as it should, because gold is also going down. So when both are moving in the same direction, this gives us a higher sense of security that we can actually look to enter in a trade, because the other is also moving in the same direction, and we can expect that both will go in the same direction. Okay, so till now, there is nothing, no entry. We'll have to wait for a displacement. We have got still 1 minute left for this candle to close, and after that, we need to see another candle which creates displacement, and then we can look for an entry from the fair value gap. Okay, so let's see if market gives that. So till now, there is no entry. We'll have to wait for that. Okay. This is a zone that market can test, and then it can push higher once again. So let's see what market does. Okay, so we want another 5-minute candle closing, and that should give us our displacement, and then we can look for a sell entry. So let's see what happens. But till now, the displacement to the downside, I mean, not exact displacement we can say, but till now, the move to the downside has been, you can say, it is good, because we see very strong red candle along with good volume indicating that the sellers are showing interest, and market can actually drop from this order block, so which is a good indication. But till now there is no I mean, we want to see another candle closing, and then we will have displacement, and then we can look for a selling opportunity from that displacement. So let's see if we get that. If we get that, then we can look for a selling entry in gold. So let's say if market gives us that confirmation, silver is also going down, and here we can see market has tested this order block and market is showing some reaction. So let's say if market respects this zone, then silver can once again push higher. And this is basically sideways movement. There is nothing to trade over here. Market is just sideways. It's arranging, creating some POIs, respecting them and dropping, and also on the lower side is creating POIs. So this is just a sideways range right now. There is nothing to trade in silver specifically, but in gold, yes, market has given strong displacement into our POI, and now if we see confirmation, then definitely we can go for a selling opportunity. Okay, so let's say if market gives us that confirmation, then we can look for a selling entry. BTC is also going down, but till now there is no displacement, and so the 4 hour is actually showing quite a good selling over here. We can see that market is trying to break below this low. If that happens, then market can continue all the way down towards this low. So if you want to trade on the 4 hour, then you can look for a selling opportunity, but for that, wait candle to close below this low, and then you can look for a selling opportunity, and you can target this low over here. So Bitcoin is actually looking quite good. We can see that market took out this high over here. So this was the liquidity, right? Market took out, market tapped into this pending order block, and now market is going down all the way to target this low. And then with new bearish breakout structure, you can look for a new selling opportunity. I can see that we have got a BPR level over here. So from here, you can look for a new selling opportunity and target this low over here. But this is according to the 4 hour time frame. This will be a short scalp selling setup. If you want to catch a good amount of move, in that case, wait for a daily breakdown, wait for daily displacement, and then you can look for a selling opportunity in Bitcoin. Okay, so I think gold is actually showing good move to the downside, right? Yep, that's nice. This is what I wanted to see. And market has actually tapped into this order blocks, and from here I think we should see some reaction. Market should push higher, test the zone over here, and then from here market should go to the downside if it wants to drop from here. Okay, so let's see what market does. This is a nice formation, 3 candle swing pattern in the 5 minutes time frame, and if market is able to actually close like this, if this candle also closes red, then this will be a nice indication that gold can directly drop to the downside, because all the you can say conditions have been fulfilled. Market has tapped into our order block, and from here I told you we should be looking for selling opportunity, and 5 minutes is also showing displacement, so we can look for a selling opportunity, but we need to see the closing of this candle. But yes, once again the 5 minute structure is still bullish, so you have to understand that, and market is testing this order block, so we do not want to see a strong reaction from this zone. In that case, this will indicate that market can once again push higher from here. Okay, so let's see what happens. If market is able to close below this low, then this will be very nice. This will give us a strong indication that the sellers are actually quite strong, and in that case we can expect that gold will have a higher chance, a higher probability that once market gives a pullback, market will directly continue to the downside without pushing all the way up to take out this high. Okay, so let's see how this candle closes. This will be important. Okay, so this candle actually closed above, so this is something that I did not really want to see. But if you want to take an entry, I mean, this is not a hyperable entry once again because the 5 minute structure is still bullish. We're entering based on displacement in the 5 minutes time frame. In that case, this will be your entry. So if you want to take an entry, yeah, this is going to be your trade setup in gold. You can enter from here. Okay, stop loss will be above the high and target will be over here. If you want to take an entry, then make sure you lower your risk. Okay, so this will be very important. If you want to take an entry, you can take, but make sure that you lower your risk in this entry because like I told you, the 5 minute structure is still bullish and it's possible that market can push all the way up and take out this high. It's a possibility, I have to tell you, but yes, this displacement is actually looking good. We have got three back-to-back swing candle patterns along with displacement after market has tested our order block in the 1 hour time frame. So it's definitely possible that market will go down from here directly, but once again you have to be careful, and that's why if you take this entry, make sure to keep your risk low. Okay, so this will be your entry at $4,556. Stop loss will be $4,565. So it's 90 pip stop loss, right? So it's a big stop loss. So make sure you manage your stop loss accordingly. I mean, you manage your risk accordingly and take your entry accordingly. Okay, so it's a 90 pip stop loss. Okay. Okay, so I put my sell limit once again. The last trade was a stop loss, by the way. Market tapped into our fair value gap, but market failed to drop even if there was a confirmation in the 1 minute. But anyhow, in this trade, let's see what market does. Market has given a displacement in the 5 minutes, and displacement, once again, I'm telling you very clearly, this is not a high probable confirmation, but yes, market tends to displace directly. Once market taps into a POI, market can directly go down from there without giving us a market structure shift. And in that case, if you want to enter a trade, you have to use this as a confirmation, and that's what we are doing over here as well. Okay, so if you're taking this entry, make sure that you lower your risk. I'm telling this repeatedly because this is not a high probable confirmation. Okay, so yeah, gold should drop from here. The 1 hour candle is also looking very promising. We have still got 16 minutes left. But as I can see, market has taken out this high of the previous high. And if this closes below this low, then definitely this will be a nice selling setup. The next candle will be very important. I think it can actually drop to the downside and continue this bearish trend over here. So let's see what market does. This is going to be very important for market to respect because this is a 1 hour order block, so the supply zone is very strong over here, so market should actually respect this zone and go all the way down from here. So let's see what market does. If you want to take an entry, this is your entry at $4,556. Stop loss goes above the high, target is at this low. Okay, but once again, once market gives you an entry, displaces to the downside, gives you 1:1, move your stop loss to break even because news is coming in 1 hour and 15 minutes, and in that case you do not want to be in a vulnerable position where market just weaks you out and takes you out at your stop loss. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so let's see what happens, how this trade plays out. You can see that market is still respecting the zone over here, but there is not much of a strong reaction, indicating that the sellers are actually coming in control and the buyers are actually getting weaker, which is what we want because we are looking to sell gold, right? So yeah, this is the zone to look for a sell entry, and market should give a pullback, tap the zone, and from here market should go down. So let's see how this trade plays out. Once again, if you're taking this entry, make sure to lower your risk because this is not a high probable confirmation. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. Let's look at silver as well, what's going on. So market is just sideways over here, not doing much. Yeah, once again, it has created another order block over here. So maybe it is just going to tap it and it is going to drop to the downside. But silver is also weak, just like gold. But yeah, silver is actually much weaker than gold right now. Gold still has given us displacement to the upside, which silver has not given yet. So silver has still some pending POIs over here. So let's see what happens. Silver is much more volatile, so it's not really necessary for silver to tap these zones. Silver can just test this lower time frame POIs that it is creating and then go down from there directly. So let's see what happens. But for now, definitely silver is looking weak and it can directly drop to the downside to take out slow, but we're not really entering any trade in silver right now. Okay, so let's see what gold does. As I can see, gold is sideways over here. So this is our entry in gold. I don't really write these things just like other YouTubers, you know, because I believe that you can actually catch what I'm saying. But yeah, this is a sell limit. Okay, stop loss goes above the high, which will be at $4,565, and target, like I told you, this will be a target, which is the last 1 hour low at $4,510. But what I can see over here is that market has not really created, but it's possible that this is an order block which market can create. And if that's the case, then you can also book some partial at $4,543. Okay, because this is an order block, so definitely market will show some reaction from here. So that's why you can book your partial at $4,543, which will be somewhere around here. Okay, so you can book your partial. Okay, seems like this is actually this liquidity over here. Okay, so somewhere around here, this is going to be our initial target, and this will be our final target at $4,510. Okay, so this is going to be a trade setup in gold. Sell limit goes here, stop loss goes here, and this will be your two targets. This will be initial target. Okay, I'll just write ITP, okay, initial target, and this will be our final target, okay, over here. So this is the trade setup that we are looking at. Okay, final target. Okay guys, so this is the trade setup. We're looking to sell gold. I think I've told you very clearly where we're looking, what is the confirmation where we're using, and if you're taking this entry, make sure to lower your risk. And yeah, this is the trade setup. Okay, so okay, so till now market did not give us any entry. Our entry is over here, so let's wait for market to give us a pullback, test this zone over here, which is the pending POI. As I can see, this is the massive fair value gap over here, which is still untested. So market needs to test this zone before going down. So this is where we are looking for an entry, and yeah, we're playing the structure to the downside, and we are looking to sell gold. Very simple. Okay, so let's see what market does. If market is able to give entry, I mean, definitely it should get an entry because this is still a pending POI in the 5 minutes. So definitely market should go up and give us our entry, then go to the downside. So let's see what market does. We'll have to wait for our entry. The sell limit remains here, and we just have to wait for our entry. And like I told you, this is the 1 hour zone from which gold should go to the downside. So we can already see weakness. This is what we wanted to see, and that's exactly what we're looking at, and that's why we're selling from this zone. Okay, I think this will be it for now. This is the trade setup that you can take, and once again, if you're taking this entry, make sure to lower your risk. And apart from that, if there is any new update, I will share it with you in my Telegram channel. You can join my channel. It's completely free over here. You can see this is my channel. I share all the updates that I see myself. So if you're interested, you can join for more updates in silver and also in gold, obviously. And obviously, whatever happens with the FOMC, I will share. And if I'm not able to share today, then tomorrow definitely I'll be sharing with you guys. So the structure still remains bullish, right? We're still looking at a bearish market, right? The market structure is bearish, and we're looking for a selling setup in gold. Similarly in silver as well, the market remains bearish. Why? Because dollar is still showing strength. Why? Because it's possible that we see rate hikes, if not today, then in the upcoming monetary policies, and that is going to either keep dollar where it is right now. Dollar is going to stay sideways, which is also bearish for gold, or dollar is going to go up, which is heavily bearish for gold. So in both the cases, gold is bearish, and we're looking for selling opportunity. But this is in the shorter term. The high time narrative still remains bullish, and like I told you once again, in the monthly, the narrative will be bullish, and it's possible, highly possible, that market wants to come down, test this QM level. This is called QM level, Quasimodo level. Okay, so this is a zone this is the level that we are looking for, around $4,400. Once market tests this level, it's possible that market can rise from here once again. Okay guys, so this is what we are looking at. This is the higher time frame narrative, but for that we have to wait for market to drop all the way down, test this zone at $4,400, and then we'll be looking for buying reactions. But till that happens, market structure remains bearish. We can see in the daily, market gave us a new bearish break-off structure. So if today also market closes below this low over here, that means tomorrow also market will be bearish. So initially we can see a push to the upside, a test of this zone over here. This is whole fair value gap. I have refined it to this zone where we have got this breaker block along with this fair value gap. So this zone will be the selling zone to watch, and from here we'll be looking to sell gold once again. Okay, so hope that makes things clear. We're still sellers in gold, and we'll be looking for selling opportunities till the 1 hour turns bullish. Okay, till the hour time frame turns bullish, we are still sellers in gold, so keep that in mind. And if you want to take a sell entry, once again, this is the trade that I've already shared with you, but make sure you risk small, because this is not a high probable entry, because the 5 minutes time frame, as long as market does not break below this last low, it is bullish. So we are trading displacement. This is what the confirmation is for. So market has given displacement, strong displacement to the downside, and this is why we are taking this entry. So this is our sell limit at 4,556. Wait for market to pull back, test the zone, and from here market should go to the downside if market wants to continue this 1 hour bearish market that it has given us till now. Okay, so that's it for now. For more updates, join my Telegram channel. Everything will be shared over there. And apart from that, if you want more updates, like I told you, join with my affiliated brokers like Vantage. This is a very good broker. If you are from the West, then you can use it. Also, if you are from India, then also you can use it. But make sure if you're an Indian trader that you do not really use UPI for transactions. Keep that in mind. So that will be it for now. I will see you with more updates on my channel, and we will see what happens during the FOMC, and based on that, whatever happens, I will share with you guys. Okay, but for now the structure remains bearish, and our plan is to look for selling opportunities only. Okay, so that's it for now. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, take